Welcome in to episode 23 of our Let's Play Humankind series featuring the Commons Quarter strategy. We are in the industrial era as the Italians progressing towards endgame. We are in late game Humankind now, and this is where I feel like a lot of 4X strategy games start to get into kind of the mundane of just dragging towards a win condition, dragging towards an end game, whatever that be, whatever it is in that particular strategy game. And Humankind falls into this trap a little bit. It depends on the game. It really does. Because if the fame lead is slim, then you're actually in a race to collect different pieces of fame. And so if the game is close, I feel like endgame in Humankind can be very interesting. Unfortunately, because we've snowballed this particular game so much, we are so far ahead in fame. And in fact, honestly, from probably like the middle of the game, even earlier than that. Like, we won this game very, very early on from a snowball perspective. There was very little that was going to happen to be able to impact that. Maybe if an AI would have declared war on us, we've avoided that thus far. Just by maneuvering around and using different diplomatic tactics and things like that, which partly that's like gameplay, right? And playing the way that I want to play and executing that appropriately. But some of it is just the AI being the AI and the game, basically us snowballing the game completely lopsided and out of control. But there are still important Commons Quarter strategy things to be done. We've got to get our Tietros in as the Italians, and we still have the contemporary era to play to see just how much influence and just how much fame we can accrue in the Commons Quarter strategy. If you need to catch up on any of the episodes leading up to this moment, turn 118 in the industrial era, in the description below, there is a link to episode 1. You can come check out all of the episodes leading up until this point. Let's jump into the game, find out where the industrial era will take us. We're here, of course, right back in our capital of Assur. Assur's got 52 population living in it, which is very nice. I noticed something about Assur. I was looking at some of our other cities, and I realized that Assur is missing walls. This is very common in my games of Humankind. If you've been watching the channel at all, or you followed me on Twitch when I was also streaming Humankind on Twitch, I still stream on Twitch, just not Humankind anymore. But if you want to check us out there, feel free. Twitch.tv/MadishMoose. However, I never build walls. I don't build walls for a variety of different reasons. I try to avoid war at all costs. Has that come back to bite me in the past? 100%. You can even find that in other Let's Play series that we've done. I think what I want to build walls for is purely aesthetic at this point. I was looking at my other cities thinking, yeah, these are very beautiful, and they're delineated. I can see where the city goes. And I realized the reason I can't see that particularly well is because my walls are just these little fences. And the fences are nice, but they're just fences. So what I want to do real quick is just buy a few walls. So we're just going to come down here. Walls are cheap, right? So we'll put in some palisades. Like, look at that. Now we can start to see the city a little bit more. And you know what? We're even going to put in some stone walls. Just for funsies. Now, it may feel odd that we're in the industrial era building palisades and stone walls. That's because it is, and that's because I probably play the game in a strange way. But let's put some stone walls in as well. We've got the money to spend, so we'll go ahead and do that as well. That's actually the highest level of walls that we have researched currently. But now you start to see the city in all of its glory, all the way down to the coast. We've got walls, and they are beautiful too. And honestly, I love the aesthetics of this game. One of the things I should do more often is just build walls because they look beautiful. It just makes the whole city kind of come together, right? Even some of the elevation changes, it just looks lovely. I do wish that they had more, a little bit more detail, like gates built into the walls at different points. I do feel like there are some little details that would be nice. Like every so often there should be a gate. Or something like every other hex or something, or every other line of hex. I'm not sure, but I do think there needs to be little details would be nice. Obviously, a lot of people don't zoom in that far in the game. I'd like to zoom in further, as I've mentioned a lot of times. So, all right, we are trucking along through the industrial era. We are currently all claimed up on our territory. We have a lot of connections left to make, so we're working towards being able to do that. In order to do that, we need to get all of our claims done. So we're trying to get all our claims in, and our claims consist of this territory, this territory, this territory, and then these two down here. So we have 5 territories left that I would like to get claims in on. We grabbed this one because there's some nice resources there. We have a unit that's kind of standing by, waiting to make a claim down here, and we are currently moving this unit who just made this claim over to make these couple of claims. So I think we're in good position to do this. What you will notice is we are making 3,000 influence per turn, which last era was probably like, that was doing good things for us. Cost of everything is going up like pretty substantially, and we're still making good influence. I feel like 3,000 per is like decent at this particular time. Our money's starting to catch up, and it might even be useful to do the Civic where we can claim things based off of money. But we also have other things to spend our money on, and so we're going to stick with influence here. We still got really good influence generation, and what we're going to do is something that I almost never endorse doing. However, I don't know when this happened, but I don't understand. The cost to use the Aesthete Affinity ability is only 150 gold still in the industrial era. It's minuscule. So the Aesthete Affinity ability basically grants you influence for money. They trade it, which is very nice. So it's influence. You get influence, but it doesn't count towards getting your star, which is really interesting. But it allows you to basically exercise your influence over a particular territory, making you the primary influencer on that territory. But more importantly, what it does is it allows you to gain influence. So I've actually ID'd beforehand, so I didn't have to look through it. This is the territory I want to use it in. 2,655 influence for 150 gold. I mean, that's still incredibly valuable. Now, given most of the time when you hit this point in a game of Humankind, you don't need influence anymore. And so even this is kind of pointless, especially since it doesn't count towards getting you a star. But in this particular instance, we could really use an extra 2,655 influence. It would actually be very helpful for us. So I ID'd this territory as one that's like on my border. It gets me the most influence, along with a couple other territories. And also there's like some other presence. Like look at all these. Like most of them are at 100. It's very, like, this one's at 95 only. There's a couple I had that are at 90, but they don't get me the same amount of influence. So we're just going to get the most influence per gold, but also look for this territory had some. I need some more influence here. Not really, but anyway, there you go. So now we're at 2,846 influence, which is quite nice. And we could actually arguably put a claim in, I believe, if we so chose. I believe we have enough to put a claim down, and I think that's what we want to do. Now, we do have wonders to claim in this era, but if we look at who's in this era and who's like even close to this era, Plosif still has even a star to gain before he can even think about moving into this era, and we have Burley and Nox, also the era behind, but they have no stars. So again, we have basically skyrocketed this game into like out of control levels. This is again at Humankind difficulty, the top difficulty level, so we're doing quite well, and I'm not really worried about wonders being stolen from us. And again, we don't actually have to have those wonders. Like we've basically won the game already, so I'm just trying to focus on properly executing the strategy that we set out to execute, making sure that we do commons quarters the way the commons quarters are meant to be done as part of this strategy. So that's what we're going to kind of focus on as we continue through the industrial era here. So let's go ahead and get a claim in, just because, again, I'm not particularly worried about any of that stuff. Actually, we're in a retreating status, and we may not be where I want to be, so maybe we'll hold and we'll get this in next time. I could put it in here and then move it on the next turn, but that cost me influence. We might actually be, the spot might actually be right here. That gets us a 1, 2, 3, 4 river spot with some pretty good production right up here. It might actually be up here. There are some other opportunities maybe down here, but it's going to get us food and not production. So arguably, I think we're actually going to put it like very close to where we are right now anyway. That could be very, very possible that that's what we're going to do. So we'll hold. We'll go ahead and get that in on the next turn. And let's rock and roll. We'll go to turn 119. We'll keep things moving. Icarus, the second of the AI to choose the Maori in the early modern era. Aztecs to Maori. So we have 2 people now playing the Maori. just always, it's been a lot of that. There's been, despite the fact that there are a ton of different cultures to choose from in each era, there's been a lot of the AI choosing the same. Not all the same, but like we've had quite a few repeats as we go through. And again, I have that turned on specifically because I wanted to do a strategy that involved commons quarters, and I needed to be specific cultures on the way through, and I didn't want that to pressure me while I was trying to show off the strategy. Normally, I do advise on a normal game of Humankind, I like to play with the culture, like you can only choose one culture per era, so the culture locks out after someone has picked it. That's typically what I suggest for a standard game of Humankind. Okay, let's put this in right away since we're here, right? This is a 719, which is very nice, and I like it. It's not hugely beneficial on the food side, and we can come down here, we can get some more balance out of it. 15.8. Like the 15.8 is tempting, but the production over here is nice, and honestly, I don't feel like, food is not a huge problem for us right now. Production is super nice, so I feel like we should just go in that direction. So let's go ahead and put it right here on the 719. We'll get that claim in. We should be able to get probably another claim in if we come down here to... Oh, and there is a readout. So now our plans have been foiled, and another one as well. And now we definitely 100% need that army that we were sending over. So let's go find... We have units kind of around. We have a readout here. We have another claim in here, and there is another claim here. So we have now 3 aggressive, because this is also aggressive. We have 3 aggressive free peoples moving in to the new world. And that is because essentially there's no other place for them to go. And so they are spawning in still in locations where there is land available. Free peoples typically don't spawn on the new world for quite some time, but they are indeed now spawning on the new world. So that's going to cause us some consternation. We may need to spend some of our gold buying out additional units as we go. We're above pop cap in a couple of our cities, so it's not a bad idea for us to buy a few units. The question is, what kind of units are being churned out by these free peoples? Are they decent units? And we need to figure out like what their technology status is, so that we can figure out if we need to upgrade some of our units, wait for us to research some techs or what. So I think we got to pause for a moment, do a little recon, and figure out what we're dealing with here. I love the placement of this readout. Like, look at this. In the canyon, again, the beauty of this game. In the canyon, it's a snow-covered canyon that leads into some, up into the, after you gain elevation, you go into the trees. And they've got their camp right at the base of this canyon. Look how beautiful that is. Get some bison, I believe, or bears. I can't tell which up here in the mountain. Oh, yeah, just beautiful. Love it. Okay. So we're going to hold on some of those things. Oh, this guy was going to go make a claim, but he was going to go claim this. So this is going to be the recon we get to do now. This is a horseman that we can upgrade to a knight. Feel like we should upgrade to knight before we do our exploration so we don't get absolutely trounced if we happen to get caught. We're probably going to retreat if we do. But let's go ahead and spend to get that done, and then let's come up here. Maybe we'll just get some exploration done, see if we run into anybody. If there's a readout, there should be units somewhere, right? So they're either around the readout still or in this other territory because we haven't seen them. But most of the time, it means there are units somewhere milling around. Readouts are always aggressive, so we know that there's an aggressive free people kind of meandering. We do have armies kind of sitting around, but a lot of that is because we're kind of worried about our relationship with Plosif a little bit. So these guys have just been hanging out. There was a free people's wandering up here. I think they actually basically disappeared on the account of just time passing. So I think we want to put somebody just here. I'm going to stick my army just in this outpost, connect it in a little bit here. But once we get that in, we'll have like a good sight range, basically, of what's happening at this border. We'll position another army, maybe like down here somewhere, because we have we only have 2 armies left on this. That's right, one of them got destroyed in our debacle of a battle that we ended up having. We have a readout here that we're kind of patrolling right now. So that's something we've been looking at as we go. The war between Burley and... Yeah, the war between Burley and Plosif is raging on. Plosif has taken Asan Devat, And that city has changed hands a ton of times. This was a Free People's city that initially Burley had captured, then Plosif had it, then Burley had it. Now Plosif has it back again. It's gone back and forth quite a few times. This border has been very, very contested between these two, with Plosif constantly kind of aggressing towards Burley. Burley conveniently had a good escape onto the New World, and so otherwise Burley would have been way, way behind everybody, but Burley's escape to the New World was very effective for him. So I don't want to burn this readout down. Honestly, I'm like kind of just waiting for units to spawn on it. I'm just going to sit right here in my own territory. We're just going to like sit here and just watch this readout, see if it spawns anyone that we can eventually go after. I mean, if it becomes a city, great. We can attack the city too. Again, barring if the tech is too high. We're the highest in tech, and so I'm not sure if it goes based off of my tech or the middle. I think it's probably middle of the line. So we probably have a tech advantage already without upgrading. We'll have to pay attention to that. We might have to research some stuff that might help us out there as we keep going. Okay, Toledo is ready to build something. We are not above PopCap yet. We have a couple of obelisks to get in. I think I want to get these obelisks in before we move into our Teatros. I want to get the Teatros in early, as I've mentioned, but I want to get these obelisks in as well. Let's see. We already have one here. So Toledo has one. They're sitting at 74% surplus, but they have attachments to make, right? And that's kind of what we've been looking at, is where are we at here? 99% surplus in Bayaguana. Madrid is brand new. They're sitting at 69% surplus, and then Roma sitting at 44. It might be nice to get an obelisk in Roma, and it might be nice to get an obelisk in Madrid. And we're supposedly going to put another city in over here, which it would be nice to have one for there as well. Let's go Roma now, and then we'll wait and see. I don't know how many of them I have left is the question. And so I probably could find that out if I go to Faith, right? Let's go to our tenant screen. Right, just show me how many. I can't remember where to find that information. Anyway, we've got some to build, and that information is located somewhere, which I'll probably remember as soon as I'm done recording the episode. If you'd like, throw down in the comments where I can find this information. At least I'll know at that point. I always appreciate your guys' comments too, so thank you for continuing to comment on videos. Okay, so let's take Toledo is going to be the one building it to start with, and we're going to put a holy site down. Let's put an obelisk in Roma. Where do we want it to make it look just stunningly beautiful? You know, like we want it to just look gorgeous. Like right out here, it's a lovely spot. Don't mind that at all. Up here is like closer to like overlooking this wonder in another person's territory. Ooh, I don't mind that at all. That's a cool look. Done. Done, I'll do it. All right, so we're gonna obelisks. We're gonna do an obelisk there. And we'll go ahead and put, not Roma on it, because Roma can build other things, right? In fact, we were about to put in a commons quarter right here. So let's commons quarter that. And then we're going to farmers. We need a farmers quarter probably somewhere. It's a 22. That actually gets us access to like the best stuff probably. So let's do that. That takes care of our surplus. You always want to check your surplus, by the way. So your surplus here, this number right in the top corner here, the surplus number, if you see surplus after you've already gotten the build selected for your city and you don't have anything in the queue, the surplus is the number of leftover production from the previous turn. If you don't use that, it does burn the next turn. So you want to make sure that if you have anything sitting here in the surplus category on any given turn, that you have something queued up to be able to burn through that surplus. Otherwise, you'll be basically losing production for no reason. So it would just be a matter of like, I need to queue something to use that, or else it goes away, right? It just disappears. Just something to keep in mind. Habana just built in a hamlet. Didn't actually help them towards their population cap problems, but we are researching mass vaccination soon. We're on our way to researching mass vaccination, so we want to keep that in mind. And we want to check actually here. I mean, that's, yeah, 46 science is really nice. This gets us 3 research slots, which again is kind of something we're trying to progress towards. Let's go ahead and get a printing house. We're building printing houses in a lot of our places currently. Food is not a problem yet, but grain silos are obviously going to be a big deal for us to get us that extra farmer slot and things of that nature. We want to check for anything that's just like going to get us drastic amounts of money. Every once in a while, you got to check for those kind of things. So I think that a printing house would be a next best bet. And then I really do want to get these Teatros in. I'm trying to get like some hamlets in at the same time. been a difficult ask. The other thing we've been trying to do, which I just continue to forget about, is we've been trying to unlock a civic, which requires us to have more market quarters. I really think I actually want to buy out. Our field is 4. I want to buy out some market quarters. Because we need market quarters. I know we have what it takes to do this in this city, and I have like this market quarter spot I've been wanting to put in for quite some time. So let's do that. Can't believe it's only +9. It's between 2 luxuries. It's still only +9. Oh well. Oh well. We gained some faith because it's next to our tumulus as well. So let's go ahead and put that in, and then let's see. Can we? Let's check the civic. Civic that we need is this one. We need a city with 3 market quarters and 3 commons quarters. Oh, and we have to have enacted small council or autotarch. So we have small council currently, so it's going to unlock this, which is actually not the direction we want to go, technically speaking. Technically speaking, I want to go this way first. We want to build all of our emblematics in this era, and then we're going to cancel this, and we're going to go down this. We'll switch this out, basically, and then go down this tree to get our commons quarters buffed up. But we have to switch out small council, which gets rid of a city cap, which is actually problematic for us. Either way, we need to have 3 market and 3 commons quarters. And we don't have that in any of our cities. I think the best bet for doing that is still Assure. They have a market quarter here. They now have a market quarter here. So I'm assuming that we just need 1 more market quarter, which right in here is a really good market quarter spot. Do I buy out another? I don't have enough money to buy out another one. So I guess we queue it up. We could buy one next turn, but we're burning all of our money doing so. But I do want to get those Teatros in, and in order to do that, I do need to do what I'm doing. I almost feel like I'll just buy it out on the next turn, just to get there faster. All right, Madrid has just finished. Oh, Madrid just finished their last cathedral. So they had some cathedrals queued up still, which is interesting. Okay, so Madrid is obviously not having any pop cap problems, and they are doing just fine. So we can put turns toward Obelisk, or we could start getting Teatros in. Again, we're trying to reduce the cost of these Teatros, though. But these are 1-turn builds, so it really doesn't matter. It literally does not matter at all. So we could start putting in some districts around this. Perhaps we just put it towards the obelisk so we can free up our other cities to go faster. Because I think we have a couple more of those obelisks to build. There we go. The meaning of art. We now have the artistic ownership civic available to us, which gets us access either to an artist studio, which gives us +1 influence on commons quarters per adjacent district, which is not bad. We also could get the Academy of Arts, which is +1 influence on research quarters per adjacent district. Well, I mean, very clearly, we will be trying to get artists studio, which is definitely advantageous to us. Although this is a project or something, right? So I actually don't even know how much we'd actually do this, but we'll wait to enact this because we're still using our influence a little bit. So we'll go there at some point in the near future. All right, I believe that takes us to the end of our turn, and we will crank to the next turn, where we will buy out a market quarter and then make some civics decisions. There's an agrarian star. Encyclopedia has been researched. That's our reduction in civics thing, which would have been hilarious if we would have enacted any civics again without having that, because we specifically were doing that in order to do the enaction and redaction of the civics. We hadn't actually yet teed up our queue to microbiology, which I believe we want to do. I don't think I want to go down this path, but again, we have free peoples to deal with. We also have the idea of some whale fishing if we want to enact that. We also have fertilizer plant. We'll get through that as we go. we're going to tech straight to microbiology, so we'll get scientific method into microbiology. Again, microbiology is a huge tech in the game that basically furthers your whole nation in a very big way, so we want to be able to do that. I'm just going to station these guys here, I think. We could, like, move them up onto the hill or something, but we'll just station them. I don't think we need them right now. These guys are looking at the readout, so we'll check on them every time. And then this is our army, right? This is our army that we're trying to gather together to move to the new world, I believe. And so we want to cross over. Yeah, and here we go. Like, this is the concern we have, right? Is we have multiple free peoples encroaching on our area, and we have no ability to maneuver them away, and so we need armies down here. Arguably, we should save our gold and buy an army on the New World as well. We're not going to because I'm greedy, and we're going to buy this market quarter in so we can continue furthering our strategy. But these guys need to move over. Should we send this guy as well? It's just a great swordsman. He's so bad. He hasn't been able to get upgraded yet because we haven't researched the right text. I think we'll just leave him because he's just going to be a hassle, right? All right, so let's bring these guys to the border here. We'll cross them at this point. This guy, okay, what do they got? Let's see. So we have halberdiers and knights. Okay, so I think we're good. I mean, the halberdiers are pretty decent at 41. We've got 36 on the knights. I think our armies should be able to handle most of these. And we can actually put a claim in this as well, right? Despite that there's a readout here. It's still claimable. It's not been claimed by these people. So I think we'll put the claim down and then arguably probably have to run away. Our claim here is probably going to sit somewhere. Honestly, like even close to Madrid is not like the worst thing in the world. It's a 710. 710, 88, 610. I mean, there's a lot of decent spots here. It's a couple 710s. I think we back off of the mountain a little bit to give us some... Well, no, I like here, actually. I think that's fine. Let's go there. Let's get this down so we have a claim in. If they burn it down, so be it. I suppose it is a waste of influence if that happens, but we'll find out if they come attack us. They probably will. But we'll find out when that happens. It looks like... Oh, it looks like that was our last... Oh, okay. So that... I didn't realize that, but that was our last holy site. So there you go. That was our final holy site of the game. So we actually put it... It's good that we put it in Roma to get it over there from a faith spread standpoint, but also it was the best city to put it in right now. So Roma will have our final holy site. There'll be wonders. Actually, I'm not sure if there are any more wonders that count as holy sites. We'll have to see as we play the game. Okay, so this guy's getting attacked again. That's fine. We'll deal with that at the end of the turn. Toledo is ready to build Teatros, but again, are we going to spend the money to unlock that Civic, and do we have enough influence to then back off and then enact like several... We might be able to start doing those. We might be able to start doing those. I'm not opposed to the idea of... Because this is only a 2-turn build, so I think we're just going to start putting these Teatros in. Now, the Teatros have... they do have some level of adjacency bonus, right? So they do get +2 influence per adjacent commons quarter. So it's almost like you want to surround Teatros with commons quarters, which is very drastically, like, not great. So really, if we get them adjacent to one commons quarter, like, I think that's fine. I don't think we need to, like, try to kill ourselves surrounding Teatros with commons quarters, because it's just not an effective way to play the game, in my opinion. However, we do want to get as many of them in as we can, and we might as well get that plus couple of influence by being adjacent to a commons quarter. So we'll get them commons quarter adjacency if we can, like, slip them in between a couple commons quarters. I think that'd be nice. And we'll probably be able to get some pretty decent... Not this city probably is not a great example of this, but in some of our other cities, we have quite a few commons quarters, buildings that count as commons quarters. And so that should be able to get us some influence as well. So really, in reality, what we're looking for is places to put our Teatros that are, rather than being adjacent to an actual commons quarter, which gets bonuses from having FIMS districts around it, what we want our Teatros to be next to are things like our tumuluses, things like our cathedrals, because those count as commons quarters, but they don't necessarily get those FIMS bonuses from adjacency with other districts, right? So Teatro that would be optimal for us, is to kind of be in other spaces. It likes this, of course, because that's in between both, right? Like, we have a commons quarter here, we have a cathedral here, and so we get really good adjacency from that. We also have a one here, so like even like here-ish is not like bad spots, but that's going to be a research quarter for us, I believe, is what we were holding for. So I think we are going to go up here in order to do this. I think that's going to be our best bet. These probably could be market quarters right here, kind of surrounding this. So I like the idea of maybe putting our Teatro up here, in between the cathedral and the commons quarter. Not optimal, but I think that will get us where we need to go. So we'll start putting those in, and then hopefully we can reduce the cost of our emblematic districts through those civics. I'm really interested in seeing... This building looks really cool in the picture, so I'm really interested in seeing it in game. I've never seen it in game before because, again, there's almost no reason ever to play the Italians outside of a commons quarter strategy. So I think it would be really good to get this printing house in. We should, I mean, arguably we should buy it in, to be honest. But let's click that. I don't think there's any other pieces of the puzzle that are getting us currently. Oh, you know what? Gothiscansa also doesn't have walls, which is something we should probably buy into. Food is actually kind of coming down. It looks good, but it'll come down pretty rapidly. But again, when we get to microbiology, that should be a problem that gets solved relatively easy. So I think let's go into one more hamlet here just to try to alleviate some of our PopCap problems. Everywhere. Oh, that's glorious. 3523 solves other kinds of problems too. So we'll go Teatros there relatively quickly, though, I think. My iguana is probably, again, just ready to put Teatros in. Let's see if they've got the... Yeah, they got their printing house in. The printing house gets us as +3 research slots, which is kind of why I'm doing it, is to alleviate some of that PopCap pressure. They could Hamlet and actually stay above PopCap, which would be nice. So maybe we go Hamlet first here. Also grabs them some more food and the ability to build some more in other locations. So let's do that first. Madrid is... probably does not have a printing house, but Madrid doesn't have to have a printing house right now. And in fact, Madrid should probably go straight into building Teatros. Let's just say that's a good idea. And once again, we got like in between. This is the Commons Quarter, I believe, right? That's our. So again, we're gonna go in between those two things. Let's do that. Teatros starting to come in all around. We should be able to retreat this one more time. Let's see what are they bringing to the table. So they do have musketeers. So we do have now free peoples with musketeers. So the free peoples are competing with the units that we have. Because musketeers, I believe, are better than our arquebusiers or similar. We're gonna wanna make sure that we get good things happening there. Let's check our tech tree really quick just to make sure we don't wanna. I really do want to get to microbiology. That's 7 turns, maybe 6 as we increase our research as we go along. And they've got musketmen, which I do not have. So their musketmen are indeed better than my arquebusiers, which are back here, right? We're building conquistadors, so they're a little bit better. Our conquistadors have 44 attack to the musketeers 46, 47, I think is what theirs were. So we do have a slight disadvantage currently, army-wise. We should have numbers on most free peoples at this point. It's tempting to like go out and grab our Alpini. It would be fun to get our unique unit. So we'll probably go there next. We're going to hope that we can hold off any free people's advances on us at this point. Although we've made mistakes on that in the past and it's cost us. So let's move right along. Oh! Lots of bombs coming up on my screen. We have enough influence to claim a wonder. There's the diplomat star. Canadian Moose has moved up to the early modern era of the Bulgarians to the Caribbean Pirates. So a Caribbean Pirates choice. Very aggressive move from Canadian Moose. He is one of our neighbors, and there is water directly in between us and them, and islands, which a little bit nervous maybe. If the AI played to that very heavily, this is our border with Canadian Moose right here. These islands, I feel like, would be in danger, you know? Like, we've got... The pirates are bordering our islands now, which would, from a story-based perspective, potentially be problematic. All these grievances, I'm assuming, are probably the religious one.
So nice to hear from you.
Yeah. We could sign this? Oh, I have one of my territories under cultural influence. You know what? It was pointed out in the comments that, like, what's the problem? Like, you're winning the game. Like, just sign it. Be a good friend, you know? Sure. 2 territories for her are going to get the +25, +25. 1 territory for me. It's nice if there's like an even number. I don't mind it that way. Most of the time, I feel like it's not going to be quite even. I think even the territory we have under her influence is one of our New World claims, and that's going to go away pretty quickly. But heck, we'll sign it.
Your proposal
there we go. We have no trees
sense.
otherwise to sign.
Yes.
Let's make sure our trade is capped out really quick.
I feel magnificent.
Me too. Cool, those are done. Let's jump to our armies. We're watching over this readout. Nothing is happening at this readout. We probably should just burn it down. These guys have reached the shore and are prepared to cross. We'll get them in the water on the next turn and then start moving them over towards Toledo. We have armies that are moving towards Toledo. I think that's probably a good spot for them because we're getting attacked here from up here and from down here probably. So Toledo's a good place to meet and then go deal with some of the free people's problems that we're having. So we'll continue to move units in that direction. I didn't buy in. Never ended up buying in the. How many turns would I take? 4 turns. We're making 2,600 per. I feel like we should just buy this. It's 10k to buy this market quarter, but it's gonna get us what we need. You know, it's gonna get us what we want. Where should we put it? That's the question. Actually, right here is not bad. Can we not build up here? What is that? Oh, that's a Danu. That's why. Put a Danu right on the border with a wall around it. There's like units standing over there. Oh man, it's an interesting border. I feel like over here is not bad. We lose a lot of stuff there. This is not bad. It's a +11. It's adjacent to a common. This is a commons quarter, right? No, that's a Danu. Well, it is a commons quarter, but it's not a commons quarter. Ah, what the heck? Let's just put it over here. I don't like. I mean, this spot would work, I guess. I feel like that would be better for something else, though. Let's put it over here. Okay, so we should now have access to a new Civic. Because we should have 3 markets. That might trigger on the next one. 3 markets, 3 commons. I wonder if that only counts for, like, actual commons quarters. We'll find out on the next turn if I have to put in actual commons quarters. And if that's the case, we're just going to start building Teatros, because I don't have time to wait for that. Okay, I need this. Yeah, this guy probably needs to jump down here now. We've got this claim in. We need to try to get the claim in here as well. Actually, this guy could come in and sneak a claim too. Let's just get him in here. We can claim and move, right? So let's just get a claim down. It's arguably, yeah, we're going to be over here somewhere. On river, probably, though. But if we just put it down, it's going to take so many turns. So we are going to move in this direction. We'll get that claim in just to get the claim in, though, right? We put this claim in. We know that there's free peoples here, but we need to cross over here as well to try to snag this claim. So I think we'll go, like, north. Try to swing our guy, like, up. Oh, we actually get into the territory. We can actually put the claim in right now. That wouldn't be bad. And then we just move it. We'll just move this one as well. So we can just come right there. And put the claim. I think we go, like, right here. I think that gets us best bang for our buck. We probably could have gone here or here. No, it's fine. Either one of these is going to work. Gotta watch out for those free peoples attacking us. It might happen very quickly. We'll just put it down and then we'll move it, right? Yeah, there's the free peoples immediately. But we got the claim in. So we claimed up both plots of land. And now we are... All we have to do is claim this and then eliminate this. And then we're good to go, right? We also have these free peoples to deal with, though. So, again, we're going to need the army over there. All right, sure. I really wonder if I should actually start building in more commons quarters. They're super cheap, and in case I need a couple more of them... Put one right there. Is that the best for us? That would be adjacent to, like, multiple commons quarters, which I don't actually like. So we need to put something here so that I stop getting the requested to place here. A maker's quarter would arguably be, like, the best thing because it's adjacent to a commons quarter. It's like makers into, like, maybe a research quarter down here or something. But where would we want... Or we could start building Teatros, but I mean, if we need more commons quarters, then we need more commons quarters. But, oh, you know what we need? More commons quarters? We need more commons quarters around the Palace of Versailles, right? It's the Palace of Versailles and the Santa Maria del Fiore that are adjacent to commons quarters. This one's full surrounded, so we just need to put some right here and here. So let's put an actual commons quarter right here. Then we can Teatro right there, because it'll be adjacent to 2 of them. What's this? It's a Bate, which is also a commons quarter, right? So we got commons, 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 Teatro. That would be lovely. Let's do that. Excuse me, sir. Please go right here, I think. I think that's a great plan. I don't love that it's just going to make our Teatros more expensive, but just in case we need more commons quarters, like actual commons quarters to trigger that Civic. Is the 20% worth all this time I'm spending into doing the Civics? I mean, arguably not at this point. I'm not even sure. We should just be building them, to be honest, but just trying to, like, you know, let's use a Civic I've never used before, because I have never progressed that part of the Civics tree. Just not even, hasn't even really come across my mind to, like, do so, you know? You know what we never talk about, because I never do them? Public ceremonies. There are really great public ceremonies that you can do. Like all of these can be very useful to do because it does increase for 10 turns. It like gives you bonuses. Now these have changed over the course of time. You used to be able to do these and they would be permanent, right? So you would be able to do a holy day and you would get a permanent increase in faith generation out of that city. And then if you did the holy day again, you'd increase that again and increase that again, and it just got more and more and more and more and more expensive. Now I don't believe it works that way anymore, right? You do it, it's always the same cost, I believe, or at least similar. And you get that bonus, like a temporary bonus from it, which can be very, very helpful, right? This trade far takes 9 turns for 20% money. It's so odd that the food one takes 1. I wonder if it's based off of how many of those districts you have. Like I have a lot of farmers quarters. No, I don't have a lot of farmers quarters though. That's untrue. It's based off of generation. It's based off how many workers you have in that area. Maybe it's based on how many workers are placed there. I don't actually know the answer to that question. If anyone wants to, in the comments, fill me in on how public ceremonies, more closely on how public ceremonies work. It's just not something I've ever explored before. Okay, so we have Roma, and we have our commons quarters, so our Teatro is going to go somewhere over here, right? Arguably, man, let's see. It really doesn't matter. Any of these are adjacent to a resource, so it's not particularly concerning to me where this goes. Let's put it, like, straight out. Just keep building out to the edge. We'll start getting Teatros down. Just because I think we're there. We're at that point. If a city doesn't have anything better to do, I think like Teatros are the play at this point. These cities have, like, the other thing I'm fighting with is like we just keep putting hamlets in because hamlets are helping us a great deal at this point as well. So I think I'm going to keep building hamlets until that civic is in. Once we make the civic switch, I think we'll switch to Teatros full. Once all the Teatros are in, we're going to switch off that civic anyway. And then bump all of our commons quarters back up using the other side of that tree. So I need to stick with that plan. Let's stick with it. We also need to keep in mind that we're 3 cities over pop cap right now, so we're losing 370 influence, which is it's not that consequential at this point. It's still a bigger number, but all right, let's keep cranking. And we have enough for another wonder. Losif just tried to discover locations of our agents, which is hilarious because I have none. But Losif is still very weary. Very, very questioning of things. All right, let's get this down. I think we want it... that's a tempting spot, but I think that's just a maker's quarter. I think we just put a maker's quarter right there. We want to be on river. I think we want to be on this river right here. 722 or a 721? Which is better? 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of them have 4 river. So we take the one that gets us the 1 extra. So that's so funny that we were 2 away, but it's faster to hit the road, I guess, and get on river. Wonderful. All right, so we're gonna get that in. Lovely. We need to move while it's on my mind. Oh, gotta fight. We're gonna fight over here. We should be able to retreat from this, and then hope they don't burn. Well, they're not gonna be able to burn my. Oh, we need 1 turn to get that in. That's fine. So we're good. Let's upgrade this guy if we have the money, which we do. And upgrade that guy. We'll move him into this army. Should be able to start competing with the free peoples. We'll get this guy into that army, and then we got 3 more coming over from this side of things, right? So let's cross them this way. We'll get them over here, and then we'll have a full army roaming around, and we can start doing some damage. Still nothing going on at this readout. I'm tempted to just burn it down. All right, we've got plenty of units to go get kills on the New World, so we could just do that. All right, the commons quarter's in. Has that triggered yet? So the answer to the question, will this trigger? Let's make sure we've got everything enacted. Oh, no, sorry. It is unlocked. Why did it not proc on our... I want to see if it procs or if it's skipped. So let's... Well, actually, that's going to make a decision for us. Is this... Ah, there we go. I've never seen this one, so let's read it. Born or made in the thriving city of Ashur, a whole hierarchy of power has sprung up as commerce and the commons grow in importance. Now it's time to make a choice over who may rise to the most influential positions in the empire. A seat on the small council. You want lucrative steadiness in your bloodlines or inner strength, those who rise on their own merit. So now what we have to do, right, because we don't want this one. Eventually we do, because we want to get here, right? However, but we want to get here, so we actually have to go down in city cap again So we need to go to small council. We need to redact this, which is actually not really something we want to do. And then we want to enact this. It's going to move us. Like, this is all bad for us at this point.
It may seem dictatorial.
We've done two bad
but at least the chain of command is clear.
And then, why can't we do this? We have now enacted autarch. We have a city with 3 makers and markets. So let's exit. Do I have to wait a turn for that to proc now? I'm assuming we have to wait a turn for this to proc. So that's good to know. So we'll unlock that. And then, again, eventually we're going to switch this back and go up this tree. But I want to get here to get that 20% reduction on Emblematic district. So that we can build in these Teatros at 20% less. Because it's just going to take forever to build them in otherwise. Because they don't have the religious district bonus reduction. They don't have the commons quarter reduction. So they cost as much as a regular district. And that's just very painful. It's a very painful process for us currently. All right, we have more Teatros to do. Oh, we can attach once more. Rome can attach one more, right? What's Rome's at? Rome is at just 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So we get our 4th attachment here. Or we could just wait. I mean, we're built. We don't have to have the attachment. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Where do we want to put other Teatros? We should probably be looking for, like, in this area, we should be looking for other adjacencies probably, right? Like, where are we going to put other commons quarters? I don't know. We could put it here and then put a commons quarter in between this and then more districts. That sounds good. Let's try that. There's probably, again, if we're min-maxing, we could find, like, places to make, like, triangles of things or shapes that react the best way, but I feel like the need to do that, like, we're just going to get some good bonuses. Let's get some solid bonuses. Okay. Right. Well, we're going to go 1 hamlet. Yeah, sure. We'll put it in the best possible spot. We're going to go 1 hamlet, and then we're going to go Teatros. That's going to increase the cost of our Teatros as well, but such is life for us at this point, I think, right? All right. Toledo's got their printing house in. They've got everything kind of running and up and functioning. And so I think, because we don't need a hamlet. Well, 1 more hamlet would be nice here. I'm not going to lie. I want to, let's push. I'm going to get greedy. We're going to push for another hamlet before we go into the Teatros. We're 4 over city cap. Let's see where that goes. 820 reduction of influence. So now it's hurting us, right? So we're at 4 over city cap. And now we're getting an 820 influence per turn reduction. So that actually is kind of costing us at this point. But we're not actually using our influence a ton anymore. We got to make 1 more claim here, and then we got to start making connections. But we're not going to make connections until we switch to Civic, which we can do relatively soon, to be honest. So we're about to start using it for attachments, which is going to hopefully help our cities a considerable amount. All right, so we got the hamlet in here. We get we go 1 more hamlet here as well. 21, why not? Put it in. Put it in, looks great. Let's do it. Madrid is already building Teatros, and they're 1-turning Teatros in Madrid, and I am not opposed to that. They are not near pop cap yet, so we're probably fine there. So let's just continue to build. If we're 1-turning Teatros, it's totally fine. Let's see. We've got adjacencies. Yeah, that one's fine. Where's our commons quarter here? Oh, yeah, we already built next to that one. This is looking lovely, isn't it? Oh, should we take a look at our Teatros? Oh, look at those. They're quite nice. They're quite a nice looking little district. They got some fountains. They got a fancy building, some lovely trees, buildings to live in, some commerce going around, maybe some industry, a little bit going on. I don't know. There's smoke coming out of some of the buildings. Looks lovely. That is a maker's quarter spot, so we don't want to do that. Now, over here, I think we could definitely, like, this is interesting, because we could commons quarter, like, after that and maybe do some districts. I think in the final age, we're probably just going to be building commons quarters, because I think I want to just hyper-focus commons quarters in the final age. So here, this age is where we need to get anything else in to prep to have some more commons quarters built. I think this is the plan. All right, let's go again. We go another turn. Scientific method is researched. We had a reduction on research quarter cost, which is nice. We have a seat star. We can actually move up already, which is kind of crazy. Our religion is spreading like mad. We have proposals being made. Uh-oh. There it goes. So they are 5 turns from so that's going to get ransacked. Unfortunately. We are going to... I don't think I can get an army there fast enough. Where are we right now? We need to fight these people first with this army, but they're not quite... Like, these guys are not across... How do we get them into this army as fast as possible? Let's just have them do that. Can this guy retreat? Retreat up. Thank you. We'll get him in that army. So we'll get all these guys together. We gotta come down and fight. So this is gonna get burnt down. We're just gonna sit with that. It sucks, but we're just gonna sit with it. Again, we're using our influence mostly appropriately, so we won't put any of our districts in there. That one. I'm surprised this one wasn't the one that got burned down. We'll work our way down. We're gonna go burn this down first. Actually, this is gonna be a city by the time we get there. We might be in some trouble with this. Because I don't think if it's a modern city, we're gonna need some unit upgrades to be able to deal with that, in my personal opinion. There's another aggressive Free People's claim here now. Oh, getting messy in the new world.
Welcome.
Getting messy.
Go ahead.
Sure. Why not?
Yes,
we have that's a neither
benefit
benefit from that, so like I'm fine with that. Early and Plosif are still at war. These guys are gonna hunker down here. Go check to see if we can burn this down before it becomes a city. Let's do a little sneak. Well, if these guys are up here, we might be able to try to sneak in here and try to get a burn on this before it becomes a city. I think that's actually advantageous to us now. If it was, oh, this readout just disappeared. So we didn't even get to burn it. We could move these guys. These guys are going to go sit in this desert Danu to watch our border. A pa? That's lovely. Those are cool. Oh, I love the look of that. I don't think I've ever seen the pa before. Really cool. So many beautiful districts in this game, and there's so many of them because there's so many cultures, which I find highly enjoyable. This is very, again, like super customizable to how you want to play. Allows just for a different game every time. I thoroughly enjoy Humankind. All right. Are we making oh, wait, did we get the Civic? Let's check. Privileged Whispers, the thriving city of Azure, a whole hierarchy of power sprung from commerce and commons. With you, the Autotarch, limited in your time. Should this burgeoning class of nobles have influence, or should your reward be for only your own bloodlines? I love the like differences as well, right? Okay, so we're gonna cost ourselves a little bit of science, which is fine at this point. Everything we're doing to get this -20 on emblematic district cost is like really bad. It's really bad for us. We're gonna enact this.
A council of educated
moving in all the wrong
leaders is
directions, but
clearly
now
the way to go.
we need to be building
Even
Teatros
queens
at
and
a
kings
rapid
can go
pace.
mad.
Everyone is going to be Teatros. I should have listened to what he said there because I actually don't know what that one was. So we just go to Teatros everywhere, anywhere and everywhere that builds Teatros. We want Teatros. Where are we going to put another commons quarter here? We should go like out this way, and then we can commons quarter like here, and then build some like markets or something. So let's Teatro in this direction. Other places, building. Okay, you're done with your printing house. That's good. It's like we're close to pop cap there. We're not, again, we're gonna build some hamlets, but not now. Not at this point. So let's see, where are we going with this? That looks lovely. How many? Oh man, is that a triple? Bate? Cathedral. What a gorgeous spot for one of these. 30 influence on that Teatro. Take it. Do we need it? No, but are we min-maxing? Are we min-maxing influence on these Teatros? Kind of, yeah. Kind of, yeah, we are. So this one, I will pop it like what up? Maybe here? Put a commons quarter. Where are we gonna put where would we put a commons quarter here? We could put a commons quarter right here. Actually, we could commons quarter this, and then put districts around it. So maybe we stick this one here, and like this becomes a commons quarter. I almost want to do that just to remember that that's going to be a good commons quarter. Like commons that, and then build around it. Yeah, it can do all that in one turn, so... What the heck? An envoy? What do they got? Arquebuses and knights? Okay. Where's that? We're ready to enter a new era.
Unfortunately,
right
this
far side of the new
time
world.
you are merely a bystander to someone else's glory.
Okay, can we get one more turn in? I feel like we could. I feel like we could get one more turn. Let's go one more turn. As long as nothing crazy happens. There's another Agrarian Star. We are cruising through this era. I'm like focused on other things. Meanwhile, the game just continues to progress. We just keep getting stars after stars after stars. Our cities are just churning growth and all kinds of things. Well, that was another burn happening? Who's getting burned now? Oh, they're burning this now. Okay, well, we could fight this. What's this? An arquebusade and some halberdiers. That's a 6-turn burn? We have time to wait for our army to get here? That's 3 turns to get... maybe not. We have an arquebusade right here, though. We join this army. This army could take that army, yeah? We've got 2 conquistadors and a knight, but the conquistadors aren't gonna have our bonus because they're gonna be because they're in our land. So let's go. We could take this fight. The halberdiers are only a 41. Take that fight. The knight's gonna be in a little bit of trouble, but I feel like we could take this fight. It's gonna be a tough fight, but let's move them in that direction because we don't want that to get. We don't want both of these to get burned down, essentially, right? These guys are gonna come across. Still the best bet to go that way. So we'll just have them meet back up in Toledo again. So that's fine. Actually, this guy could come up and join that fight as well. We know we're abandoning this. So maybe we run this guy up and we can have him join as well. That'd be great. I mean, they're knights and the halberdiers are going to be very difficult on the knights, but maybe we could use the knights in strategic ways. We'd also try to... We're also close. Yeah, microbiology next turns. We're actually close to being able to get... We're like 2 turns probably from being able to upgrade the knights to dragoons probably. Alright, we already know we're going all Pietros all day. And that is a Bate, I believe. That's a lovely spot. That's a great spot. Perfect. There's your first Pietro. Bahama. Let's Pietro away. Where's our Pietro location? What do we got? Cathedral Bate again. Oh, we'd love to see it. Cathedral Bate adjacency for a Pietro is lovely. We don't mind that at all. That's smack dab in the middle of everything. Oh, double cathedral? Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll take that. Then we could put, like, a commons quarter up in here somewhere. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to get crazy about the Pietros surrounded by commons quarters. Of nobles in their duty, just as the empire population has grown, so too have aristocratic classes. As they consolidate themselves into influential houses, now it's time to decide whether their power should be endorsed or shattered. Wait. Oh! Is this the same? Is Democratic Republic the same bonus as this one? We can't get them at the same time. Wait, can we get them at the same time? +1 science on commons quarter, +1 money on science quarter. +1 science on commons quarter, +1 money on science quarter. I mean, they're the same. Those are the same bonuses. This one is not tied to this, so I think we can get aristocratic evolution. I think we can get this. This one should be regardless of whether we enact this, right? The benefit is the same. But we could double up that benefit? Let me know in the comments if I'm crazy, but it feels like I could double this benefit, because this path is the one we're locked into by choosing Autotarch, right? But that does not connect to this. That only connects to this. So we should be able to enact this and this eventually, right? I'm assuming. I mean, I like, why not? Like, let's do it.
With so many cultures and traditions,
that's 1 science and 1 money on every commons quarter we have in the game, and we have a ton of buildings that qualify as commons quarter. I have no idea what that just bumped us to, but I feel like it would be a lot. Oh, these guys stopped their burn to come and attack by night? Okay, we don't mind that. Maybe we could just distract them the whole time. Okay, that is going to do it for this episode. We are in Pietro building heaven, and I believe what I'm going to do at the start of the next episode is we're going to jump into our civics. We're going to go and switch over, which one is it? Customary laws. We're going to switch over customary laws to codified laws, and we're going to start making attachments because we believe we have most of our claims in. We have 1 claim left to make, but we're not going to get there for a little bit. We're trying to sneak in here and burn this down. Okay, so next episode when we get to move. Oh, that's what that horse was doing. I knew he was doing something. Well, he's not doing it anymore. So we're probably just going to do that in the next episode. Anyway, that will do it for this episode. Next week, we continue through the industrial era. We're progressing very quickly through the industrial. We could move up already. Our stars are kind of cranking along. We're going to get our Pietros in, and then we'll kind of check where we are. We haven't even claimed a wonder yet in this era. Again, nobody else is in it, so we're kind of pushing through that. So we will see where we go in the next episode. If you like the content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and that you're subscribed to the channel with notifications on. We'd love to have you for the next installment of this series coming out next week. Thank y'all for being here, and I'll see you next week.